Okay, here's another of my creations where I am trying to understand the flower of life, which I think is a very basic creation tool somehow, because so much of life has this in it, if you understand what I'm talking about. And I'm relating it to the Vector-Equiblibrium, which you see in this picture. I have created 3 into the flower of life. The spaces where they can go in are just perfect, you know, for the Vector-Equiblibrium to work itself right into the flower of life. But on the other opposite side, the side that's gold, which I'll show you next, the Vector-Equilibrium is a little different looking, because on that side it's turned. It's not the same exact shape as what comes out on the other side. Anyway, I built this because I was thinking this kind of reminds me of a symbol for the atom, because it's like it has 3 levels of spin around it that's represented there by the gold and the silver parts of the Vector-Equilibrium going through the flower of life, which I consider to be like a plane of inertia. And so I thought this to me, for some reason that I can't really explain, seems to be like an atom. Because I see a lot of people draw atoms with spinning 3 little circles around the center of a place that seems to be not there, like center of what is in the center of the Vector-Equilibrium, the God space. And since I believe that God is in every atom, this became something that I just thought, well, to me this will be a symbol of the atom. So that's what I call it. So I made this thing, and I didn't know how I was going to display it. But for some reason, my daughter and I decided we would just go to Salvation Army store, where, out of the blessing or the good luck, or however you might want to call it, I found this thing right here. And I thought, wow, I think that's going to work. I have to have this. And it wasn't marked, the price wasn't marked on it, so I asked them to please mark a price on there and put the color tag that was discounted that day, which they did. So I got it for like about $6 or something like that. And I brought it home and I said, thank you. You must want me to display this. Me talking to my God self. So it worked perfectly. It was just like, oh, this was made to order. I must be divinely guided or something like that. Anyway, I want to show you something else I made along this line, because I wasn't too happy with my flower of life. I didn't have it as perfect as I knew I could make it if I would take more time. So I made another one, and here it is. So I made a better flower of life that I liked a little better, and I put a Vector-Equilibrium in the middle portion of this. I didn't do 3 of them like I did on the atom. I just did the one in the center. And then, because I played around with the Vector-Equilibrium and made it into a Merkaba, then I thought, I'll make it into a Merkaba instead of putting 2 more Vector-Equilibriums on here. Only it will have this flower of life right through the center of the Merkaba. So this is what that looked like when I finished with that. So here's my latest creation. It isn't the atom. It's got the Merkaba right in the middle of the flower of life, and inside there in the middle of the Merkaba is the Vector-Equilibrium. And I'm thinking that this represents you can kind of imagine the Merkaba spinning inside of this flower of life symbol, and it creating. I don't know what to call this. It's just something I made. I don't know if it means anything. I just felt when I was making it that this is how I was supposed to do it. And all of you can look through this at different angles and see right through many little triangles when you're looking down deep into it. It's a very heavy thing. I have it sitting in my room, taking up a lot of space. And wondering, sometimes I think, why did I make this thing? But I felt compelled to, for some odd reason. I think my family probably thinks that I'm going off the deep end sometime with all my creations, because I've made this symbol, the Merkaba, this way several times. I see a relationship between the Merkaba and the Vector-Equiblibrium, how that, some websites show this real good, but how that you can take the Vector-Equilibrium and cut it in half and turn both sides that are at the top to the middle, and then you have the reverse is that you have either the Vector-Equilibrium or you have the Merkaba, because they're just the same thing, only inside out. And that's interesting to me. It's also interesting to me that this Vector-Equilibrium is made out of tetrahedrons. This is a sculpture of a Vector-Equilibrium that I made, and in this case I showed all the inside having lines that come out to all the places where the different parts meet, and so it looks, there's 12 of them, and it looks to me like power being generated from the center part of this, the source part, into 12 directions. This is 1/2 of the Vector-Equilibrium. There's 4 of the tetrahedrons, and you put this together, it makes the Vector-Equilibrium, which is made out of 8 tetrahedrons, which only define the space for the 6 squares that result from this, making the Vector-Equilibrium. And this is just very interesting to me, because the tetrahedron and the Merkaba and also the Octrahedron, and I've always thought of the Octrahedron as 2 pyramids bases together, the as above, the so below, the symbol for God above and God in us. So this is highly symbolic to me of God and man co-creating to create form and bringing the atom into existence. And so I invite anyone who is interested in these symbols that have any comments about them to let me know what you think about them. Maybe you will see something I don't see in it. And maybe it means nothing at all, I don't know. It's just something that I feel a compulsory need to be making all the time. Sometimes it kind of drives me crazy, because I'm always getting my hands in clay and all kinds of messy things. Also spending all my money on wire and floral tape and Q-tips and clay and spackling and all kinds of stuff. It's, I don't know, it's just something I do for whatever reason. Anyway, I just wanted to let people who might be interested in these things see some of the things I make. According to Greg Braden, here's the words encoded into our DNA. God eternal within the body. When I heard him say that, I just had to write this on a rock. Well, paint it on a rock. Bye now.